Hello, the first episode of Paranoia Urban Legends is going to mostly focus on two different ones. One, we will start with Humans Can Lick 2, a very amazing story that has pretty much attributed to the fact of the handwriting on the wall urban legends, which there's many variations of that, which I will go into then. The second one we will be doing is the spider bite urban legend, which is very simple and very easy for me to tell you the story of, since it's actually not that much of it on there. That's why we're doing two for this episode. But mainly we will be focusing on Paranoia with these. The first one, Humans Can Lick 2, derives from the version of the handwriting on the wall, such as Welcome to the World of AIDS, and Aren't You Glad You Didn't Turn on the Light urban legends. Now, Aren't You Glad You Didn't Turn on the Light is very simplistic in the fact that it's mostly about a child who wakes up in fear to find that their parents are pretty much murdered, and on the wall is Aren't You Glad You Didn't Turn on the Light, due to the fact that their fear actually allowed them to go either in different forms, either back to sleep, or enough of fear to protect them from the boogeyman, who in a different variation he either is gone or he isn't, and he's waiting under the bed for the kid. Actually go into the origin of that a little bit deeper than what I have already stated. You see, because if you actually go and research this like I have, you will find that this is actually derived from the Bible story of Daniel in the Bible. There's an urban legend that goes something like this. Once there was a nice old lady who had a lovely little dog. One day the old lady heard on the radio that a crazy murderer had escaped from jail or prison, and that she should lock all her doors and windows. So she, of course, locked every door and window in the house except for one tiny one, because she wanted some air. She thought that the murderer would never be able to get in through that small little window anyway, so she didn't worry about it. Now, before we go deeper into that, she actually owns a dog which she keeps around due to the fact that it actually helps to calm her and keep her feeling a lot safer than what she probably normally would. So, of course, her and the dog have been doing a routine since probably a very long time, probably since the dog was a puppy, where if she ever felt scared, she could just ask the dog to lick her hand, and he would. Now, of course, figuring everything was okay, but feeling a little bit scared because of the radio announcement of the crazy murderer being released, she of course went to see if her dog could lick her hand, and of course the dog did. Now, when she woke up finally in the morning, she woke to find that in the bathroom her dog was actually murdered, and laying beside it was either cables, cords, or Christmas lights, or a knife, or 100 different products that obviously the mass murderer used to take out the dog. But on the mirror it was written, Humans Can Lick 2. Very simplistic story, of course, as I said. Now, the second story, the spider bite story. I truly believe that the urban legend was actually reported due to the fact of arachnophobics, which is an irrational fear of spiders, because if my research has proven anything, there was no actual case, anything like this story. Very simply, to do this one as simple as I can, the spider's bite story goes as quick as this. This woman went vacationing in some overseas country. While lying on the beach, she fell asleep and the spider bit her, unknown by her. She woke up with the side of her face a little more sore than usual, but attributed it to the fact that she had been tanning and maybe got slightly sunburned. Anyway, she finished her vacation, returned home, and her face began to swell, eventually forming a boil which really itched. Upon visiting her doctor, he broke open the huge boil and hundreds of tiny spiders fell out, revealing these spider egg sacs. But the woman was so horrified that she went into shock and died of a heart attack right there. That is as simple as the spider bite story actually does go. So, thank you for joining us for this two-parter.